Did I disappoint? Was that not the dumbest intro you've ever seen?
Trust me, I think I've seen far worse in my time doing these types of things.
What's up, everybody? This is a special midday episode of Right Now. I am coming to you from Puerto Rico because apparently I don't know my own schedule, and I decided to do this when I was on vacation, but I'm not going to let that hold me back. Devin is our guest for today, and we're going to have a fun episode. The theme is fashion, which I have no idea how we're going to pull off, but that's kind of the point of this show, is that we just dive right into stuff and we sort of have a good time. So we're not gonna waste any time. We're gonna jump right into it. The way these things work is I will write a sentence, Devin will write a sentence, then I will write another sentence, and we will try to make some sort of a cohesive story. I have no idea what the plot line will be, what the characters will be. Fashion is the theme for this episode. So the name of the game is every single sentence will have to have one article of clothing described to it. So it could be as stupid or ridiculous as possible. I'm gonna start with a starter sentence. Hopefully that will get us into a fashion setting that will get everything going. Last night I did a stream and the internet in the hotel was a little spotty. Hopefully things will be better now. So we'll see how they go. Without further ado, I think I need to share the screen. Let's see if I remember how to do this.
There we go.
There we go. Fabulous. So, how should we get this going? So since this is fashion, we should say the elementary school fashion show was off to a terrible start. I feel like whenever you introduce kids into the mix, things are not going to go smoothly.
I agree.
That's just the nature of the game. So let's see. Devin, take it away.
Let's see what I can do with this. The elementary school fashion show was off to a terrible start.
Yeah. Then the idea is to not think. It's just to shoot from the hip. First thing that pops into your head. Sarah. This is going to be interesting if Sarah's the main character, because Sarah's the name of my wife. So, she's going to be in for some trouble. So, Sarah, a third grade student at the. Are we going to name the elementary?
Oh, there we go. Oh.
At the Hickman. Oh. This is an elementary school that focuses on comic book writing. It's a comic book specialized elementary school. At the Hickman Elementary School of the Arts.
How the hell do you spell corduroy?
Corduroy. I think writers have become lazy in our day and age, where we just try to get it as close as possible, and hopefully, there we go.
There we go.
Has just stained her corduroy pants. Uh-oh. What did she stain it with?
Maybe some Hickman juice? I don't know.
Hickman juice. She insulted Tommy's polka dot sweater.
Oh.
And he responded by throwing apple juice on her.
That's rough.
The drama starts right out of the gate. It's an ultimate elementary, actually. That's a good one. That's definitely a good one. This only occurred due to the fact that Tommy. Let's get some comments in here. We edit each other here right now. It's a team effort. Not knowing how to give her a Valentine for that special day. As it. Remember, you got to get some piece of clothing into the sentence. Those are the arbitrary rules of the game that I made up. What else we got going on here?
There we go.
As was made of ripped stone washed jeans and paper. Let's get some dialogue going. Let's see.
There we go.
What is she going to say? This only occurred due to the fact that Tommy, not knowing how to give her a Valentine's, as it was made of ripped stone washed jeans and paper. So wait, so she insulted Tommy's. This is Real Housewives level drama going on here. I have to this is a lot of back and forth. So he got her a Valentine's Day thing. She didn't like it, so she insulted his polka dot. I wrote sweat instead of sweater. And then because she insulted him, he threw the apple juice.
Yep.
This is my favorite pair of pants. What's her name? Sarah?
Yep.
Sarah screamed as she ripped them off, revealing a sparkly unicorn dress underneath.
Oh, that's a
they were rip away corduroy pants. The first in existence.
Haven't seen a pair of rip away pants in a very long time.
Those were the shit back in the 90s, you know, playing basketball games. You were just whoosh.
I had a pair when I was in high school, and that was 10 years ago. So if it makes you feel any older, you know.
Do NBA players wear those anymore?
You know, that's a good question.
I haven't seen a game in a long time where somebody's like about to go in and they're just whoosh, and then they toss
I feel like the last time I actually watched basketball, which would be about 10 years ago, I swear there was somebody that had a pair. So it has to, you know, be something still.
We'll be live for about, I don't know. You typically go for about 45 minutes to an hour.
Let's see.
We'll see how much the drama entails. So I'm a big fan of starting a new paragraph.
After you're good.
Dialogue. No, it's all right. It's all right. My anal retentive formatting is kicking in. The dress was quite stunning, as it's white. What are we trying to write here? Silken. This is like a family affair. My wife's name is Sarah. My daughter would love to wear a sparkly unicorn dress. She probably has a couple. Where are you coming from, Devin? Where are you coming from live right now?
Oh, I'm straight from my bedroom.
Straight from your bedroom?
In Monroe, Michigan.
Michigan. So we got about, I'm not used to being in a different time zone. So we got, I think that's like 3, right?
Yeah.
3 time zones?
Roughly, because you said you're in Puerto Rico.
Puerto Rico, yeah.
So yeah, you're roughly 2-3 time zones away.
I set up a live stream last night with somebody on the West Coast, and so that was 4 time zones away. It was 11 o'clock. Which after a day in the sun I'm ready to pass out at 7.
Oh, trust me, I hear that.
The dress was quite stunning, as its silken And white silken fabric radiated across the playground. Oh, now we got a setting. This is a fashion show on the playground. Oh, you kind of set me up a little bit because now it's outside. I think the weather is going to take a turn for the worst.
We can only,
we can only surmise. The dress was quite stunning as it's
white silk.
Let's get rid of that apostrophe as it's silk and white.
Yep,
white silk. I keep trying to say silk and white, not white silk.
No, you're good because I mess with you.
As it's white silk and fabric radiated across the playground, illuminating. No, playground. Illuminating goes here. Illuminating Mrs. Gilbert's rose tinted dress.
Yeah.
Settle down, children. This is going to be a boring sentence, but it's not. But we're going to do it anyway. Settle down, children. Mrs. Gilbert. Let's go. Let's get a little crazy here. What did Miss Gilbert do? Miss Gilbert. She didn't really chastise, but I'm going to use chastise because how often do you get to use that word? Mrs. Gilbert.
A couple times a week.
Mrs. Gilbert chastised the pair while her, how do I describe this? While her Pee Wee Herman. Wait, you're like, where are you going with this? Inspired bow tie.
Oh my!
Spun around.
That's a hell of a bow tie.
Mrs. Gilbert is stylish. She's gonna win. She's not even in the fashion show, and she's going to win.
Goodness gracious! She might have to turn some things around here because I kind of like that bow tie she's rocking. That's different. That's how I imagine adults dressed as a kid.
Not many women wear bow ties to begin with. So the fact that she's got one like
just spinning around on her like on the playground.
I wish I had an elementary school as cool as Mrs. Gilbert. What was the name of Mrs. Fritz? That was the magic school bus.
Oh
teacher,
yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Mrs. Frizzle. There we go.
Mrs. Frizzle. Nobody's been as cool as Mrs. Frizzle.
I feel like she was best dressed because every time you see her, she had something different on. But she drove that same school bus.
Yeah. Yeah. Nowadays, if Mrs. Frizzle was a real teacher, somebody would call Child Protective Services, and she would definitely lose her job.
I guarantee that will be stopped just because, for one, who's allowing a kid to go on a field trip after the first time with her? Like, oh yeah, we went inside of little Timmy's body and fought blood cells or something like that or whatever. I'm just like, I think we're gonna have a talk. We're gonna pull you out of that school.
Well, first off, you can't go on a field trip without a permission slip. So she's like, we're not gonna do permission slips. We're just gonna jump in the school bus and head to Mars right now.
Nah, well, maybe the space trip I let my kid go on, but any other ones that's kind of questionable. We're not going inside of people in a bus. All right, that seems like a little too hard to believe now.
All right, where are we going? We got some drama. The kids stop to gaze at she's their least favorite teacher with that bow tie. Where are we going with this, Devin? Least favorite teacher.
Let's back up. Least favorite teacher. And
I wonder if there's going to be a little romance between Tommy and Sarah. Maybe that's why their tensions are high.
Kinda.
Maybe. Elementary school romances get pretty like they live fast and they die fast. You know what I mean? 1 minute they're kissing under the playground. The next minute they're broken up at lunchtime.
Damn it. I do not like autocorrect today. Galoshes. How the hell?
Galoshes?
That's a
those are
word
like
I don't
footwear,
use.
Right?
Yeah, they're like
I tried to type in galoshes and
Shoes.
goulash came up.
Yeah, like
That's not what we want. Goulash.
I feel like it's gonna be an A.
Let's see. How do we spell galoshes? Yeah, I think that was it. Galoshes. Galoshes. What?
There
A
we
type
go.
of overshoe or rubber boot that is put on overshoes to keep them from getting muddy or wet during inclement weather.
But hers are made of wood.
Because she is ridiculous. To gaze at their least favorite teacher, and they look to her shoes to spot a pair of wooden galoshes that she stole from Sarah's dead grandmother. Oh, you're bringing out all the stops now.
Hey, it's part of being a writer, right?
It is. You're throwing me for a loop here.
Hey, you gotta keep your mind
keep me
fresh.
on my wooden galoshes.
Yeah, maybe we'll gift you a pair with
They look too
Ultimate Spider-Man 1 as the image on the outside, so that way you can wear them to your favorite convention or comic shop or wherever you want to go. Oh man.
Sarah had never gotten over the way Mrs. Gilbert desecrated. This is took a dark turn really quickly. Desecrated her grandmother's body.
It's nothing without a little bit of grave robbing.
By ripping off the galoshes at the funeral.
Oh.
Along with the corpses. Now we got to throw the how do we spell this word?
Which word?
I'm gonna surprise you. There we go. I'm not even gonna type it. I'm just gonna paste it. Rhinestone belt.
Oh, well, that's
she just went
a different one.
Stole that sucker right off. Thank God it was
from Elvis.
Thank God it was open casket. Made things easy.
Would have been bad if Granny was cremated. How am I gonna top that? So
now Sarah's got it in for both her teacher and Tommy.
Man, I think I really made it difficult now because at first I was just messing around, and I took it far.
No. Once you introduce corpses, I'm taking it to the limit, pushing the envelope. I want to bring Hickman back into it. We got a Hickman school. Maybe I need to find a way to make it make sense that he has a elementary school named after him.
I think you could do something good with that.
Oh. For those who don't know, Devin and I are part of a Discord that Hickman is a huge topic of discussion because Travis Gibb apparently started a religion that worships Jonathan Hickman as the greatest comic writer of all time. Many seem to disagree with him. I disagree with him. I just think he's a guy who writes comics. I think he's a good comic writer, but I wouldn't elevate him to God status, at least just yet. I do love East of West though. That when that book was coming out, that was like the book I was looking forward to whenever it came out. You know what? The only bad thing about that was I read it weekly, and there's so much going on that I think if I read it as like a trade, I would have been more invested because there were so many characters, so many storylines bounced all around. What do you want, you smelly old lady who wears such an ugly yellow rubber hat? Somebody's got to draw this. Like somebody has to put this all together.
Oh,
Sarah's
definitely.
teacher, Mrs. Gilbert.
And to let you, folks watching know, or who will be watching this, Jonathan Hickman is a great writer, but he has to, he does have his small flaws. I'll give him that.
I
Whole
think
X-Men
every
thing.
writer has their flaws. Nobody's
Most
flawless.
definitely.
Nobody's
Honestly,
flawless.
No, I was going to say Jack Kirby when he was writing, but that's a lie. I have this Demon run from the 70s, and I like it, but I think the first few books are kind of, I don't know, they're not something I
Dare
would
not
love right
insult the
away.
king. If you go at the
So
king, you best not miss.
I try not to miss. I will say that is a good series though, towards the back end. So.
Get it together, kids.
Here we go.
No, I gotta. How do we get it together, kids? Because Mr. Hickman himself is supposed to come by the fashion show.
Yeah.
Today in a Spider-Man jumpsuit.
I feel like if he was watching this right now, I think he'd have to clarify that he'd probably never wear a Spider-Man jumpsuit in front of people.
This is in front of people. This is the fictional Mr. Hickman.
There we go.
Although if I ever got to write a Spider-Man comic, I would definitely wear a Spider-Man jumpsuit.
Well, of course, you have to do a little self-inserting every now and then.
Well, what I would want is to walk around in a ridiculous Spider-Man jumpsuit, and when people would ask me, "Why are you wearing a Spider-Man jumpsuit?" I'd be like, "I write Spider-Man, bitch."
Well,
I want people to ask me that just so I have a reason to tell them.
Well,
and
I kind of imagine not Jonathan Hickman. Who was it? Jason Aaron. There we go. I don't know why I blanked on his name. He wrote Avengers for like a few years and Thor for even longer. I feel like he's the kind of person that would dress up in something like that and hope you asked him or said something about it so he can tell you that he's writing Ninja Turtles or spearheading Ninja Turtles or whatever you want to say.
You know what? Despite being familiar with a lot of comic writers' work, I don't know a lot about their personalities. I don't. I don't listen to a lot of their interviews and stuff.
I think it's actually worth looking into. Honestly, I do it every now and again, like the Hickman thing. Like he's actually a fun ass guy if you listen to him for a minute. They usually do like a live stream where you can talk to Hickman and other folks for his Three Worlds, Three Moons Substack that I'm subscribed to. It's the only one I pay for, so there's
you want to get your money's worth.
Oh, trust me, I do usually. Kind of mad how they didn't win, the contest that they had last year to get into the book that they have. So I'm like, damn, I could have got $3,500 and a 10-page story. Wow. So you're telling me you're paying people?
Now that's a grand prize.
Oh, yeah. Honestly, I never heard of nothing like that until I had, seen it on the Substack, and I'm just like, damn, I hope I win, and I obviously didn't.
That's pretty cool, though.
Definitely cool. It's definitely different, but no, he's a cool guy. He's very nerdy, honestly. Like he has his quirks.
I don't think the comic writers do enough of those live streams and stuff. I see them every once in a while. They might jump on something, but
typically they don't. A lot of them are very recluse unless you're say Dan Slott or
McFarlane. Dan Slott has gotten so much crap, I think, since he took over Spider-Man.
Oh, I agree.
If anybody was going to be a recluse, I think it would be him.
And I'm surprised he hasn't gone that route, considering, I actually liked a lot of stuff he did.
I did
Say for
too.
some of
I
that
did
stuff
too.
towards the back end with the Spider Island thing, I thought that was kind of too much. But the
You
Doc
know what?
Ock
I agree with
switching,
you. It was too much. I liked it anyway. I thought it was just amount of ridiculousness that I was.
Oh, of course. Like it's Spider Man. Like what can't you do with Spider Man and add that level of ridiculous crap?
And when you've been writing one character for that long, it's like, come on, you gotta like, we gotta be crazy. So, I didn't even read my last sentence because you're too busy talking about comic writers.
Oh no, you're good.
No, I got to read it out for people, just to keep just to fight back the silence, because that's what the difficult part of this show is that writers write in silence and quiet,
Yeah,
but
typically, yeah.
two people just standing in front of a computer just going like this is not a very entertaining show. So
I don't know. It could be because you can see all the different facial expressions and frustration on their faces.
Is very true, very true. But
Actually,
I feel like I have to have verbal diarrhea on this show just to kind of keep things lively. What do you want, you smelly old lady who wears such an ugly yellow rubber hat? Sarah screamed on teacher Mrs. Gilbert. Get it together, kids, because Mr. Hickman is supposed to come by the fashion show today in a Spider-Man jumpsuit, and I won't be embarrassed by you two, Mrs. Gilbert said, not realizing she already looked ridiculous. And just to summarize what she's wearing, she has... Did we talk about her dress?
Yeah, I think I said something like a rose tinted dress, I believe.
I mean, let's go back. Let's go back. We can stop. She looked a spot on pair of galoshes.
Yep.
No, I don't think he said rose tinted. Mrs. Gilbert, yeah, I see it.
There we go.
You know what? Okay, you threw me for a loop here because you had you called out the white silken fabric of the dress, and then you went to Mrs. Gilbert's dress. So Mrs. Gilbert's wearing a rose tinted dress, wooden galoshes, a spinning Pee Wee Herman bow tie, and a rubber hat. A yellow rubber hat?
Yep, a yellow rubber hat.
Oh my
so
God.
We have to get interesting with it at least, so that way folks can understand like how ridiculous elementary school fashion shows can be.
This sounds like it was written by an elementary school student. This is something like
I sincerely hope it was, because if it wasn't, elementary school age me would be very disappointed in adult me.
As the day progressed, Sarah and Tommy went back to class to prepare for the fashion show. Oh, so it wasn't during the fashion show?
No, it's before the fashion.
Yeah. It was before the fashion show, which was coordinated by Mrs. Gilbert.
And her... Oh, man.
Who
did Mrs. Gilbert coordinate this with?
Maybe the principal? Maybe an assistant?
Oh, I like that. There we go.
A TA?
So let's see. What did that assistant wear? Because she's already dressed ridiculously. You know what? I know exactly what it's going to be.
Diamond. Why did they put Diamond capital?
That's weird.
Does Diamond have to be capital? No, it doesn't.
And I don't think I capitalized it any other time.
You didn't, but it made it capital. Did they think Diamond was a name?
Perhaps.
Was she a stripper, this assistant?
On the weekends.
I mean, you don't get paid that much as an elementary school assistant. She's got to make money somehow. If I was in elementary school and my teacher's assistant was a stripper, I would definitely get held back a year or two. Probably. How what are we doing for time? We got 30 minutes before my 3 monsters come back here from the pool, soaking wet, and try to.
Oh, there we go. Man, you got 3 of them.
I do have 3 of them.
I've got one little one, and thankfully he's at school right now.
We're on February break. Well, actually, they're missing school right now for the vacation because
I'd rather miss school than be at school.
Yeah, definitely. Because flights are cheaper on a Wednesday, so we went Wednesday to Wednesday.
Oh, there you go. Hey,
So,
nothing like saving a little bit of money, right?
as the day progressed, Sarah and Tommy went back to class to prepare for the fashion show, which was coordinated by Mrs. Gilbert and her diamond-studded cowboy boot-wearing assistant, Sapphire Gonzalez. She is a stripper.
Yep. I figure, you said diamond, and I'm like, no, let's not use that. Let's use a different gemstone.
To prepare for the fashion show.
So let's see how we're gonna go from here.
I want to. I got
Goat.
unfortunate news to share, kids, because Mr. Hickman won't be making the fashion show.
Oh, such a bummer.
I want to save myself some litigation in case he reads this and gets offended. Unfortunate news to share, kids, because Mr. Hickman won't be making the fashion show. Mrs. Gilbert lamented. Now, Mrs. Gilbert is very sad that she won't be making it. So,
Of course.
lamented while crying because she's crying because he won't be coming into her. I'm gonna stretch the rules a little bit here and call
As you should.
handkerchief into her handkerchief, but I'm not done because I would need to describe this handkerchief a little bit in her snakeskin handkerchief. Who has a snakeskin handkerchief?
I feel like that's something the governor of Texas would have.
Greg Abbott.
It seems on brand for him, But I don't want him to, come and see this because, who knows? He might fancy himself a writer and just go looking for stuff.
Looking for obscure writing streaming shows by comic.
I love Frank so much that I have to, tune in when he has a new one up. So it's like, see that I was mentioned. Oh no, I have to go after that Devin guy.
He's one of my
Michigan.
He's one of my 35 YouTube subscribers.
Hold up, that's admirable. I'm out. I have 0, but then again, I don't have YouTube, so I have a YouTube profile like this that counts. But wow, snakeskin handkerchief.
Yeah, she's crying. I think we gotta get back to this drama between Tommy and Sarah. We gotta wrap up that storyline.
While she's crying, I got some.
I mean, we got a brewing romance between Tommy and Sarah, but I think we have to keep it PG, considering they're elementary school kids.
Oh, definitely. I remember exactly how I was in elementary school. A crybaby that, got mad because another, granted, I didn't understand it at the time, but like there was another kid with the same name as me, like first name. And, we were friends. Well, I got mad at him, and this was actually in the 3rd grade. I got mad at him because he was able to eat food in class. I'm like, what the hell? What's going on? Why can't he eat all the time? I'm hungry. I want to eat something. Found out he was diabetic. I'm like, oh.
I was gonna say.
I guess never mind.
I want to be diabetic too. I mean, that's how kids think.
No, that's exactly how it was. Because I think like the next one of those times I like brought food in the class and just left it in like my desk and just would like take bites of it as it's in there. Like teacher turn around, I start eating. It's like, oh, he's diabetic. That's why I didn't know what the hell that was. All right, let's see.
Where is this going to go from here? I think I know what I want, how I want the story to progress, but I gotta wait my turn. There's no shared plotting here on right now. Everything's off the cuff. I think I'm gonna turn Miss Gilbert into a little bit of a villain. I mean, she's
kind of like that.
She's kind of a villain already. I mean, she's already grave robbed grandmother. Tommy was unconcerned with Mr. Hickman's decision to not attend the fashion show as he was trying to figure out how to get in Mrs. Gonzalez's pants. I will apologize to Sarah for his behavior earlier.
Wait, not done yet.
I was gonna say we still need new sentence. We gotta you gotta stick to one sentence. I mean, that's good. I think that's fine.
Actually,
you gotta find a way to just figure out some clothing there.
Wait, that's the wrong. There we go. Ha ha ha.
Oh, trick. Yeah, no. Tools of the trade, the semicolon. How to extend sentences.
See, I knew there was a way to do it without starting another sentence, but I'm like, usually I don't wake up until like 11:30 unless I have something to do.
I'm glad you have risen from your slumber for this occasion.
Oh, anything for writing.
Yeah, I don't use semicolons that often. They're not really in my writing arsenal.
They're interesting piece of punctuation to use just because, granted, comics writing at least, we have no real use for them because you technically say, right now I could just throw that in and start writing again, which that's still technically a part of the same sentence, but you don't want to extend it in say prose like we're doing now like that. So you use the semicolon in place of that here, but say in comics you could literally cut off what you're saying to make the same point. You just put that bar there, which I still don't. I know there's a word for it, but I'm not gonna try to figure it out.
Well, one of my pet peeves is when I have an editor and they're editing my dialogue to have perfect grammar. Yeah. I'm like, it's a comic. I don't need to have perfect grammar. I want it to be the way I want it to read, the way I want it to read, not based on the rules of English. So I get a little frustrated when they're trying to fix my grammar. I'm like, it's a comic book. Come on, just let me write the way I wanted to write.
Right.
The pictures are telling the story, not my words. So let me have my words the way I want them to be.
Deerskin, not face mask. Deerskin.
Is this going to be his how he makes amends? He's trying to get her a present.
Yeah. Deerskin something.
Deerskin.
Trying to figure
bracelet.
out like
what would girls like to wear?
Bracelets,
rings, choke collar. Girls. That's a good one.
I know exactly what it's going to be.
G-string.
That's for Sapphire to wear. Deerskin. What the hell is that thing? Hair tie.
Deerskin hair tie.
Not hair toe.
Hair toe. So, Tommy was unconcerned with Mr. Hickman's decision to not attend the fashion show as he was trying to figure out how to apologize to Sarah for his behavior earlier. So he decided to go find a deerskin. Let's get rid of and.
Yeah.
I was going to do that for you. So you
you're good.
Deerskin hair tie for Sarah to wear to the fashion show.
There we go. Whew. Right. Like girls wear something.
Girls wear stuff. All right. Sarah loved the hair tie so much.
There we go.
She accepted Tommy's apology and decided to include him in her plan to gain revenge on Mrs. Gilbert.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, Sarah loved the hair tie so much. Include her plan to gain revenge on Mrs. Gilbert by staining her. Oh. So I got a So she's got the rubber hat, she's got
Yep.
the dress, she's got the galoshes. We don't know what
Yep.
top she's wearing, right?
No, we don't.
So staining her blue jean. I'm going boring. Blue jean jacket.
So like every teacher that I've had basically throughout my entire life, because every one of them women that I've had as a teacher has had at least one of these. So
you don't see many blue jean jackets nowadays. I think when I was growing up, my mother was like all about the blue jean jacket. Like she had one, she got one for me. She's like, you gotta wear this. I'm like, why?
well, because it's fashionable. Like, shoot, I think I had a blue jean jacket as a kid. Now that I think about it, I actually had a lot of cool things. I used to wear like the blue jean overalls and like long sleeve shirts all the time. I specifically remember one because I have a picture of it somewhere around the house. It was I don't know the material, but it was like green overalls, and I had like a long sleeve white shirt with monster trucks on it.
Oh, monster trucks. That was a big
I'm
one.
like, that was kind of cool, and like I had a fixation with monster trucks briefly, but like I think that kind of lapsed because I was in the comics more than monster trucks. So like now my son loves monster trucks. Like he got like 50
I
monster
think
trucks.
I think there's diminishing returns on monster trucks. You get
Yeah,
really excited from the beginning, and then like it peppers out after a while. Whereas comics, there's so many characters you could just like bounce around. And
definitely.
yes.
And as somebody that's had an assignment in elementary school, it was later in elementary school, like the fifth grade. I brought 3 long boxes of my comic books to class because we had to, sell something to our classmates. So my stupid ass was like, "Hey, Dad, can you help me take these 3 long boxes of books?"
That's
He
a
was
lot
like,
of stuff.
"It's like, this is heavy, right?" And the crazy thing is, so I think realistically, he made me bring like 2,
I
even though
think
he
I
didn't
think
want
one
me to do that.
one would have been just fine.
Well, as shoot, one would have been enough because I carried 2 of them. And mind you, my classroom was on the third floor of the building. There was no elevator because this building was over 100 years old. And I walked up multiple flights of steps to take these boxes to the classroom to try to sell them to my classmates, only be ridiculed later about it. Nobody wants those comic books, but I
What?
want them comic books.
What kind of kid doesn't like comic books?
A lot of the kids at my school. And crazy thing is, I think maybe let's see, as an adult, now that I've seen them, maybe at least 2 people or maybe a couple more, the 2 that I'm still loose friends with, actually do like comic books. Like,
No,
I
that's
think
why you're
because of
still
me.
friends with
So,
them, because they're cool.
yeah, oh yeah, definitely. Trust. Plus, I kind of force it on people, so it's kind of hard to get away from me in comic books.
We're not insulting anybody's wardrobe. Trust me. I'm wearing a Little League baseball shirt from when I played baseball as a kid. So my fashion sense is in the toilet.
Well, I don't know. Not more than mine. I'm wearing like a burgundy long sleeve. I ain't gonna call it a dress shirt because that's not what this is. It's like a casual shirt and then some pajama pants that are checker patterned. Like I don't think it, and I walk outside like this to check the mail, by the way. So you know,
I go to pick up my kids in sweatpants with holes in them. My wife's like, "What are you doing? You go into the world like this?" I'm like, "Yeah,
well,
I just got to tell people that I'm a writer," and then they're like, "Oh, okay, it makes sense."
see, that's the most important part. Except, I can't dress like that to conventions because then they'll realize I'm too good of a writer if I dress like that. I
it's
have to
the
dress like I
it's the
care.
yeah. There's the work uniform, and then there's the salesman uniform.
Exactly. So Sarah loved the hair tie so much that she accepted Tommy's apology and decided to include him in her plan to gain revenge on Mrs. Gilbert by staining her blue jean jacket.
All right, now how are they going to do that? For Tommy, I think Tommy he stained her corduroy pants. So Tommy, if you want to stain something,
You go to Tommy.
Tommy's the person you go to.
Actually, you know what? Since this is a fashion show at an elementary school, there's bound to be an art teacher present with a bunch
Oh,
of stuff that shouldn't be around children. So I think we're gonna work this out.
All right. How are they gonna make this happen? Oh. Oof. I'm not looking forward to heading home tomorrow. Not that I don't want to go home. I'm not looking forward to the traveling. That's
How long of a flight you have?
it's 4 hours.
Oh, it's not bad.
It's not bad, but when you got 3 kids, you got to get to the airport. You got
Yeah,
security. You got to entertain them while you're waiting for the flight, and then you got to be on the
course.
flight for 4 hours with them. Then you got to find the way home. Yeah, I know.
Shit.
It's part of the deal. It's just part of the deal.
Oh, definitely.
It's like a whole day. But I'm looking forward to going home. I need my couch and my TV to stream. I want to finish watching the new Avatar.
I keep seeing stuff about that, and I don't know, something about it just seems off to me that I don't want to indulge in it. Plus, I still have to finish Percy Jackson, and like I
heard
just
that was
started.
good. I heard that.
Oh, it's a great show. It's very
well. You know
true
what?
to the book.
They both have something in common. They were both adaptations that had movies.
Yep,
And then they redid the adaptation into shows.
exactly. And so far, at least one of them has something good going for them.
I like Avatar. I'm liking the show.
Like,
I'm halfway in. I got 4 episodes done yesterday.
how many episodes are there?
8.
Really?
I think I think it's the first season of the show.
Oh, and they just took all that and
they turned into 8 episodes. Yeah. Which is it's you know what? It's kind of good because they took some episodes and they merged them together
instead of just having them separate, which would have long.
So it's so it's a lot of the storylines are weaving together, which makes it's a little different.
Maybe I will try to watch it at least. Mr. Gibbs.
Pat Shan's newsletter was just shared in the Discord, so I want to give that a read soon.
It's funny that you said that. I actually just got that before I hopped on here. I didn't look at it. It's still in my notification bar.
I'm gonna check it out later. I hope my family's not done with the pool by the time I get down there because it's nice just sitting out in the nice weather. Tommy realized that I hate this little thing that pops up when you're typing.
Oh, the name.
The name, yeah. Tommy realized that I can't read. Forget it. It's fine. I'll wait till you're done.
Ooh. So what type of fabric am I? You know what? I already know.
Nice fabric. Velvet. Loving it. Whenever I think of velvet, I always think of red velvet. That's
exactly. Right? Yep. And there's red velvet. There's actually red velvet material that was used for clothing because my grandmother had a red velvet like jacket or something like it a long time ago. Actually, I'm gonna just use red velvet jacket.
Red velvet jacket. Tom realized he had the perfect plan. He was going to use Mr. Gibbs' gallon of white paint that he hid underneath a velvet jacket that sat behind the curtain. All right. Now a plan is forming.
Yeah.
We're 8 minutes in at this point. What we're going to do is we do something at the end of every episode I do called 3 for 3. So we're each going to have 3 episodes left. Episodes. My mind's still on Avatar. We're going to have 3 sentences left. So same thing, but now we're going to start winding down the story and try to put a wrap on this thing so it doesn't just leave on a
cliffhanger.
Yeah. A Hickman level cliffhanger.
That's monumental depending on how it's left.
What you can't not name drop a movie now. Now you got to look and see what it was. Red Velvet Boots. I don't know what
that
movie
seems familiar.
You got to Google it. You got to find that information. That's how we'll close out the show.
Red Velvet Boots. I feel like I've seen something like that.
We got 3 sentences each left, which is 6 total. So Tommy realized he had a perfect plan. He was going to use Mr. Gibbs' gallon of white paint that he hid underneath a velvet jacket that sat behind the curtain. All right. First, the couple recruited.
Oh,
Since we're getting names, we're using everybody's names in this. We'll use CJ.
pretty much. There we go.
First, the couple recruited CJ to their plan, and we're going to use a comma here, and he stripped off his. What is he wearing? What is he wearing? His rainbow tuxedo.
There we go. Seems like a CJ thing to wear.
To distract Mrs. Gilbert. Not Galbert. Mrs. Gilbert. While they snatched the paint.
There we go.
This is a devious plan. These kids are...
I dig this plan.
These kids are ruthless. Oh, so I got 2 left. This is the first of your 3. This is a fun one. You know what this is? This is light. This is a light story, light goofy. I've had goofy. The last one I did was a bar fight, so it was ridiculous. It had clowns in it, and it was ridiculous. Really? But it got too real. People were being stabbed and heads were being chopped off. This is a lot more.
I feel like that's a lot for something, and then just to try to cap that off and be like, oh yeah, it ended all nice and what. No, a clown just got killed over there. Like, okay,
that was too much for the morning. So this is nice and airy. Oh, it's almost lunchtime
already.
Yeah, it's 11:52 over here.
It's funny. I literally sucked down a whole thing of cereal before I got on here. I'm like, all right, threw the bowl away, out my way, so that way it's out of the my purview. And I'm gonna have to go pick it up in a minute.
I'm all distracted. Charlie. Oh, now we're bringing Charlie into the mix. Oh, this is a whole. They recruited the whole class for this.
We're gonna go even deeper.
Oh, this is getting too much. Now this is getting meta.
Actually, hold on.
Charlie tripped Mrs. Gilbert with his favorite white ash scarf. that sounds like white ash scarf.
See, double entendre right there. You gotta roll with the punches.
Let's see here. This is gonna turn into a Matilda situation where they're just gonna
kind of
class is gonna get involved.
Might as well, right? It's a fashion show. It's not just Sarah and Tommy there. Like you gotta throw in all the other kids.
With Miss Gilbert lying helpless on the ground, the rest of the kids pinned her down and shoved a what are we going to shove?
A lot of things that can be shoved anywhere.
A lot of things can be shoved a lot of places. Shoved. We got a scarf. I'm thinking of like a scarf, but you just used a scarf. So
well, you could always say like
I got it. Shoved a pink pom-pom hat. Pink pom-pom beanie. Can a beanie have pom-poms on it?
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah. My son has a Spider-Man one with a beanie on it. Beanie with a pom on it.
I thought like beanie had to be like flat. So once you put a pom-pom on it, it ceases to be a beanie. It becomes something else.
They can be, but like 90% of the time, like especially like for kids, you know what? They'll classify it as a beanie.
I don't think fashion accuracy is that high on our priority list.
Exactly. Unless a
pink pom-pom beanie into her mouth to shut the bitch up. No. As the kids pinned her down and shoved a pink pom-pom beanie into her mouth so she couldn't call for help. That's terrible. I know that's terrible, but I'm gonna put it anyway. Sure, she couldn't call for help.
There we go.
I got one more sentence. You got two. He said the paint's
Man.
coming. We've been delaying the paint. I'll let you put the final blow on the paint.
Man, that's gonna be. Whew.
So
Because I gotta get from where we're at to set it. You're gonna set up the paint.
I'll set up
and
the
then
paint.
I'm gonna just drop the paint.
Yeah, and that would be the end. But you got one more sentence to go before we get there.
Shit.
So
Okay.
she got tripped with a scarf. The kids are pinning her down. She's got a pom-pom beanie in her mouth. This is getting rough. Where is this school?
This
school's
must be on a, where the hell is this? Like
school's like in Beirut,
New York,
somewhere. Jeez,
somewhere like
middle of a war zone.
Early 1900s.
1900s. Before they had Spider-Man suits in the early 1900s.
Well, they were different. They had live spiders and stuff. Put on some pajamas. Nothing crazy.
It was Spider-Man Noir.
Oh, there you go. Sounds just like Nicolas Cage. So
that's awesome that he was Spider-Man Noir.
I think it fit for him personally. Definitely. Whenever I see him, it's like I think of him.
Oh. I wonder if these kids are going to get expelled. Can you expel an entire class? I guess why not, right?
It's not unlikely. I have seen groups of kids be expelled when I was in high school, or a group of kids. Wasn't a big group, but group nonetheless.
I've never been expelled. Got suspended before. Expelled is a big deal. You got to do something terrible to be expelled. You got to stab somebody or something.
I don't know. I literally I tell this story to my wife all the time. But so I was a freshman in high school. So obviously, all my friends were in different classes mostly and whatever. Who cares? Well, I had a double period math class. So
that's rough.
It sucks. I suck at math, Frank. If it ain't money, I don't want to even think about it. But
if not money, crazy. I ain't counting.
No, for real. It's crazy. I can't do the math that they taught us in school for the most part. The basic stuff I can mostly kind of do, but say I'm at the store or whatever, just messing around. I'll guess. I used to guess what my total would be at checkout, based on the percentage of state tax and where I'm at, and I would mostly get real close to it. So I'd go out of state, say to Florida, and figure out what their sales tax was if I don't think they have one, and if they do, it's high. And I figured it out. I'm like, yeah, all right, cool. I feel good, but I can't, do algebra or trigonometry. I failed trigonometry, but yeah, I had a double period algebra class. So third and fourth period, which was around lunchtime, basically. So after third period ended, one of my classmates who I was working with, he went to the bathroom. He's like, yeah, I'll be right back. Well, bell rang. He didn't come back. 10 minutes went by. It was like, anybody see him? Oh yeah, he got stabbed in between class periods. I'm like, bullshit. And then sure as shit, he was gone for a couple of days, come back. He's like, yeah. And then lift up his shirt to show the wound. I'm like, what the hell did you do to get stabbed at school?
On the way to the bathroom.
You gotta be a rough cut person.
That's wild. Big finish was coming, so all the kids brought their teacher into this. They carried her into the center. they didn't want to do it over in the corner. They're like, this is going to be a ritualistic sacrifice. They're going into the center of the stage. You don't see Wills too often.
It's a rough word to try to use. Not everybody will use it because who the fuck says whilst?
It's like thou or art.
Yeah, exactly. And I try not to put those in books because it sounds ridiculous.
But it fits perfectly here. Well, Sarah and Tommy prepared the paint. we got to get some clothing in this sentence.
What kind of clothing? Got it. I already know what it is. A burgundy.
Burgundy. I can't hear the word burgundy without thinking of Ron Burgundy.
Yep. Anchorman. There we go. A burgundy tie.
I think my son's ready for that movie. I got to show it to him. Prepared the paint using a burgundy tie used to hoist it above. My wife's calling.
Yep.
Hello. We're not finished, but you could come up anyway. We're almost done.
Yeah, 2 seconds.
Okay. Like,
as you can see, I'm a really professional host here, taking phone calls.
Well, it could be worse. You could have just, did a whole what do they call them thing? Mukbang, and just have a bunch of food in front of you, just eating and writing and eating and writing.
I think we could get rid of this second used.
Because I didn't even realize I put that there.
The paint prepared the paint using a burgundy tie to hoist it above the stage.
Yeah, getting prepared. Right. So you got to give me one good piece of clothing.
Right. Now this is where things are going to get strange and bizarre.
I like strange and bizarre, so try me.
All the kids happily placed. We got so many like animal skin stuff on here. Placed leopard skin masks on their faces.
Oh, this is
enchanted before the moment of vengeance was completed. All the kids happily placed leopard skin masks on their faces, enchanted before the moment of vengeance was completed. This is like turning to like ritualistic.
Well, this is a school in the middle of Texas, I'd imagine. Somewhere where
Texas.
Literally, like this is like the ungovernable part of the state. Like this is the single school with one district, all the kids in like a 50-mile radius. Say like a 40-mile radius have to come to this school specifically because they're not allowed to go to other schools.
They got to leave their house at like 3:00 in the morning just to make first period.
Yep. Oh man, I'm going to be late. This is like the stories parents would tell, like, oh, I had to walk up and down the hill, 3 miles both ways in the rain and snow or whatever, just trying to say how hard they had it. It was like, all right, calm down there.
All right, let's here it comes. Wrap it up. How are you going to drop? You got to drop the paint, but also get a piece of clothing in it at the same time. Can you imagine what this teacher is going through? Just kids these days with their damn YouTube and Fortnite, no respect. Judged by the Council of Reeds.
Oh no, that's bad.
This took a bizarre turn. And this is all before the fashion show. Everybody's going to walk in and see this going on. It's children of Hickman Elementary. Tommy. What's up, family? Oh, we got food? No.
Food.
not food.
Then why'd you bring this up?
It's dessert.
It's dessert. Because God forbid you have dessert before lunch.
It's a cookie.
It's a cookie. Okay.
Sorry, David took the key card.
Black.
David took the key card. Does she have a key card?
No.
Then go bring her a key card, Evan. I'm doing this. You're my son, which is basically means you're an indentured servant. Go bring it down to her.
Was he then servant is pissed?
You're allowed to be pissed. You still got to do what I want. I'm a ruthless father.
I love it though.
It's all right. I'll let him get away with murder. Let's see. You have been judged by the lawless children of Hickman Elementary, exclaimed Tommy and Sarah as they donned their black gilded tiki masks. Oh, they're the only ones. Everybody else has on leopard skin masks except Tommy and Sarah because
They're special.
they're special. And then came the big drop of paint. New books or exclusives coming out, and I will start promoting them. Thank you. White paint onto the poorly dressed Mrs. Gilbert on the center stage. Now,
There we go.
my favorite part of every Right Now episode, the end.
There we go.
We've done it. It's a masterpiece.
Hey, it is to me. So expect to see this, on headlines. You're gonna put this on a shirt or several. That was
at an hour and 6 minutes, this has been our longest episode yet. And it was a lot of fun. It was perfect for the morning. Nobody died.
Oh, most definitely.
Yeah,
Not this time.
Not that somebody was almost sacrificed. I mean, with pain.
Yeah,
But
we are lawless kids. So
Devin, tell the fine people in cyberspace where they can find you and follow you and all that fun stuff.
So I'm pretty much on, the main platforms, Instagram and Twitter, mostly Twitter, because, why not be there? My handle is the same on both. It is CBDevin95 on Twitter and Instagram. From there, you can find my link tree with my newsletter on Substack, and any other crazy things I got linked in there. Hopefully an online store soon, maybe after next weekend. We'll see. But it's been a blast.
I snatched some potato chips away from my wife because I'm hungry.
And then you brought me food too, man.
All right, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. This has been a fun episode. Now we get to play by a brand new outro. Peace.